What up, everybody? Yeah, it's CGB, stands for Covert Go Blue, is the shorthand for my gamer handle, and I am back for some more magic duels. What do we need today? Destruction and Rage. Cast 15 black or red spells. Maybe I can accommodate. No, don't refresh. No, I want that quest. That quest is good. Let's blow stuff up, because today I want to try some control. And I made a video a few days ago, I think it was, playing with different control decks. And unbeknownst to me, but shortly afterwards, and completely unrelated to anything I'm doing, Gemini entered a tournament and put out his deck list, and he's playing a kind of funky 4-color control list. And the last time Gemini made a funky control list that I sort of thought was ridiculous at first, not ridiculous, but there were just things about it that were weird to me. Last time he did that, it was an Esper control list with Thopter Spy Network that I thought was silly, and then we ended up winning a bunch of games. Like, I think it was something like 15-0 at one point. It was, and not against all scrubs either. There were some very good games in that list, and it did very well. But he's got something different, something a little strange to me, and I want to try it out. I want to find out what's going on with this 4-color deck that he's got. So, we're going to get into that. The list is on No Goblins Allowed in the Xbox Double Elimination Tournament thread. You can probably also find out more information on all that kind of stuff on Magic Duels Diaries, Haunted Flower Duels Diaries, which is my blog where I go and I write about all these ridiculous things in duels that I do's. Because I play this game about more than anybody. Maybe not, I don't play it more. I definitely write about it more than anybody. And somebody would have to prove me wrong, and they are welcome to. Please, come out and show me. Because if there is a blog out there that I'm missing, I want to read it. It's not so much that I want to beat it, I want to read it. So he's got some love for Horribly Awry, he's got some love for Telling Time. What else do we have here? Disperse. Got some love for Disperse. We're going to scatter some things. We're going to read a whole bunch of bones. I like it. I just hope that we have some life gain tied into this, and I hope he finds something more than Shambling Vent, because sometimes these decks rely way too much on Shambling Vent, and a red deck that gets your life total really low, well, they can just cast Fiery Impulse on your Shambling Vent, and I don't see a lot of counters. Well, let's see. I'm just going off some of the things I've already learned. And we've got a Roil Spout. I've learned that I really like Coastal Discovery. Roil Spout is a more control-ish effect, but I think that the more card advantage-y, grindy play is Coastal Discovery. And we got some Brutal Expulsion. Let's get some Languish over here. And Gideon, Disciple, Outburst, Ob. And part the Waterveil. Some people are really smooth with their filters. I'm not. I just like clicking on the right and left buttons way too much. How many lands are we going to run? Quite a few, it looks like. Oh wait, I do know this one. I can do this. I can there. Wow, save myself so much time. 1, 2, 3, 4. He wants the Double Fortress. There we go. And we got the Double Falls. There we go. And we got the Double Chapel. Yep. And the Double Retreat. So all of these check lands. Catacombs, you know it. Streams and hollows and vents. Yep. No marshes? No marshes. Marsh is dubbed to be the kind of odd dual land out. 1 mountain, 1 swamp, 2 and 2. And there we go. So we got 26 lands. And let's make some predictions here. I'm not a part the Waterveil guy. I don't think it really goes into control decks. You know, when you need it, I don't know. I don't know. Prove me wrong. It's a big, awesome Awaken card. Maybe it'll prove me wrong. I don't know about Brutal Expulsion. I think it's better as a tempo card, but we'll see. We'll give it its day in court. Same with Roil Spout. I think it's a better tempo card. I'd rather have, I think, Coastal Discovery. I'm really falling in love with that card in kind of my more tap-out oriented control decks, which this sort of is. It has just the 2 hard counters in Scatter, and the 2 soft counters in Brutal, and it's got the 1 Dispel, which isn't hard to leave mana up for. The Horribly Awry kind of stand out to me. It looks like the deck may have a hard time dealing with stuff that resolves early without taking a ton of damage from it. And if you take a ton of damage from it, it doesn't have a lot of life gain. It's, you know, and Read the Bones is going to need you to not die to be effective. A lot of reliance on Shambling Vent. I had a deck that, you know, also relied on Shambling Vent quite a bit, and this horrible tragedy occurred. Somebody cast their Oblivion Sower and got both my Shambling Vents in my top 4. Oh my goodness. I think I still won that game somehow, but I remember just that felt filthy. All right. Enough judgy. Let's take it for a spin in the wild. The curve was actually pretty tight if you caught it there. It's not a bad curve. Actually, let's see. I like to use other avatars when the deck isn't exactly mine because I use the same avatar so much. You're gonna, gem, not green, because it's not green. All right, let's get to work. Get me an opponent. Dearest Lord of the RNG, please send me a foe who knows how to tap his lands and does not sit idle for most of the game and does not concede on turn 2. Hey, here we go. We're off to the races, it seems like. We got some kind of elf in the vampire castle. I guess pointy ears clans hanging out together. And let's see what our opponent wants to throw our way. And see how this 4-color kind of tap-out control-y list holds up. It's very similar, and definitely in principle similar to some of the things I've been working on in Control. But a big card that I just haven't been able to get away from the more work I do in Control is Angelic Edict, which I just always want one. We'll see if this deck misses it. The deck has very few ways to deal with enchantments, I think. I guess I'd have to see the list again. I took it down. If I pulled it back up, let me just go off the top of my head. How would this deck deal with an enchantment that resolved? Disperse and counter it, I guess, but there are 2 counters and 2 disperses. Not a clean answer. So that'll be something to watch for. And Angelic Edict is great because it can interact with enchantments and get them out of your life. Well, let's test Fates, see if he has Horribly Awry or if he has Reprisal. But I think if you have Jace on turn 2, you just play Jace on turn 2. Don't overthink it. And our opponent looking blue, looking black. Will we see a Forest and a Skyrider Elf? We'll see a Harbor, maybe. No, pass the turn. Let's settle in, guys. We might have a staring match. I pushed the button. That lag is back. That lag I've been complaining about. Let's hope it doesn't get too bad here. And let's hope we don't miss our Jace trigger because of it. When I'm in laggy conditions, I like to try to activate things that I'd normally do on end step when we go into attack step, because I don't want to miss my triggers. Okay, Jagged Scar. So we do have some elves. Let's see what's in the deck. I don't think I'll need this. I think my mana is actually really tight. Red, 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 blue, blue, white. I think I need one more white, actually. And, well, I need the black, too. I do think it has to be a land here. So it will be this one. And that can resolve. And that can resolve. Okay, so what we're going to do is see if we can pull together an untapped land for expulsion, and we can. That's going to be gravy, and I don't even think I'm going to wait on it, because I definitely want it to happen. Is there a reason to wait on it? Is there a reason not to? He plays blue. He could have counter something, but I doubt it. And if we wait on it, maybe we'll hit another target. The Jagged Scar really does entice him to play spells before attacking. So let's see what we can pull out of him here. Let's see what we can do. Hello to all my chat peoples. T-shirt saying hello, hello T-shirt. T-shirt, multi-format competitor. Playing in his 3rd tournament in 2 months. It's pretty darn impressive, I must say, my man. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I definitely want to exile that, bounce that. Okay. Yeah, we'll see if he does anything else. Alright, so now we want to do this. And we want to do it like so. And now we want to try to find a sweeper for all these little elves, playing against some funky Sultai elf deck. It's actually a pretty tough choice. I think it's going to be Disperse. That could be wrong. Actually, it's going to be... No, it'll be Disperse, because we're going to need that. Oh, actually, we don't need the red. We don't need the mount. That's right. I've got to remember to really look at my mana base when I'm activating Jace. Well, okay. So, I think what we want to do this turn is read some bones. Nope, we can't. Draw, discard. Discard. I guess I want to cast one more spell, because I want Jace to flip before I do this. So, I think I'll take away a turn from him with this here Roil Spout, but let's just activate Jace now. And oh wait, we're on 3, we can go 4, then we can go 5. No, we can flip Jace this turn, so we're going to Spout first. And this one threatens to do more damage. Make him draw that again. And then we will Jace. Sequencing is tough. I'm still not feeling Disperse, just because we haven't had a good target. Lay that out. Do that. Okay. Good turn. Pretty big turn. This is Gemini's deck t-shirt down there in the comments. Yep. We're trying out some 4-color control of the Gemini Persuasion. So far, so good. I wouldn't say our opponent got a fast start. I don't think they even played anything until turn 4, and it was a Jagged Scar. There's an Ob. Well, that's something. And that's a problem. We have to find a way to pressure Ob. Fortunately, that Disperse is here to help us. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. So, first we need to... It would be nice if we could sweep the board and Disperse and Scatter, but I don't think we can. If we just do the Disperse play and then Scatter, he gets to kill Jace, which sucks. If we take the time to Radiant Flames then he still might be able to, if he follows it up with any kind of creature, that play is still off the table and he's drawing more cards. So unfortunately, I think Jace just has to bite it here. I guess he may not have the damage to, right? He may need one more, but I think he can find it. Tap right. Yep, that's fine. Now, we'll see if he plays it again. That'll be a kind of a test. We'll see if he just spikes it. If he has any other play, he should make a different play, because it should be really obvious that I'm holding up a counter for Ob, and that as long as he has Ob in his hand, I'm forced to hold this counter up, potentially for the rest of the game. He's going for it. Which means he probably doesn't have another play. Which means Radiant Flames is probably fine next turn. And from there... Oh, he did have another play. I don't agree with that. And that makes Radiant Flames really good. Brutal, in fact. And we get to hold up Horribly Awry. This is getting cool. This is getting good. Alright, blue, yep. Good night, sweet elves. Now we have to locate a way to win the game. Certainly we're in a good position to take control, but we've got to win the game. From Beyond. Well, actually, that's a problem, and an interesting card in an elf deck. Not something I expected, and like I said, I think we have a softness to enchantments that might get exploited here. But let's dig, and, well, there's a scatter. I guess we need that. We're gonna grab this because we already have a Horribly Awry. And more of it probably won't do much good. Hit that. Hit this. And we're digging kind of for win cons. No, thank you. And, sure. Do I want to play the Disperse game? Let's just see what happens. Funny that we put together Scatter and Disperse twice in one game. Kiora. It's an interesting deck. I think my strategy with Kiora is to beat it up. Yeah. I think we gotta do it that way. Need to play with these more. Let's see. So untap something. Yep. Plains. Okay, basic plains it is. Kiora loses a lot of effectiveness, but I don't think we're in Ulamog range, although I don't know if From Beyond even gets Ulamog in this deck. Let's see what it gets. I mean, is it also an Ulamog? Is it Ulamog Elves? It's Oblivion Sower. Actually, that's welcome to show up. That card I don't think will bother me, but maybe that means the last card in the hand is Ulamog. So what deals with Sower here? This is definitely a time where I would love to have an Angelic Edict. Okay. Might be flashback Roil Spout. And like I said, we do have to worry. The card that's left in his hand well could be Ulamog. I think that comes in untapped, or tapped. Sorry. And we're giving him more lands and more exile triggers if we Roil Spout that, but we get rid of Kiora and then we have an 8/8. But if he has Ulamog, then we're in a lot of trouble. Dispersing it is also a problem. I guess I'm kind of tempted to play as if Ulamog isn't in the deck, because I don't know if we can necessarily beat it. And if it's in the hand, we just need to prevent more triggers, and I just don't see a way to do that. Everything we have is like bounce. So I guess we just have to go big, although obviously Ulamog just exiles our big creature. Let's see. Maybe I'm supposed to wait. Yeah. It doesn't quite feel good, but I think I just have to wait. And see if Ulamog is in fact what's up his sleeve. If so, then he'll exile our 2 good stuff, then we can at least counter it and try to deal with Sower and Kiora the old-fashioned way, and I don't think it's a great plan. It's not a great plan, but let's do what we can do. There's an Unholy Hunger. Okay. Well, which spell? Dispel. Probably not what anyone expected. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He could have played Ulamog if he had it. I think he would. I mean, it seems like one would. So maybe it's time. Okay. I will block you. So let's get that last card out of the hand. What's it gonna be? Okay, that was his big trick, sacking Evolving Wilds. And Kiora activates and untaps. I guess there was nothing to lose. So here on end step, now that I'm pretty sure he's not Ulamogging us, let's get our Disperse on. Let's take Kiora down. Every time I play with a Gemini deck that has Dispel, it always does something pretty cool in these in these games. Seems like the deck never fails to cough up a good Dispel target. Alright, let's leave some white open, pretty please. White, blue, I think that'll do. Let's find a way to deal with a Sower. That's one. That's another. That's good. I like it. I guess I could have drawn 2 more cards with Jace, if Sower's, coming out. Stream's unwatchable. I guess I'll have to test that again. Great. I do have it set to a lower setting, and I haven't had connection issues since I did that. And now that I'm watching it right now, I don't see any buffering issues right now. Huh. I just checked out, I just watched the stream back on my end, and I don't see any connection issues, guys. I'm sorry. I guess that means I don't really know how to help. So he Sowered me again. 25 cards in the deck. I'm trying to remember what the hell is even in this deck to deal with a big creature. I guess we're gonna go Disciple. Didn't leave a blue up, which is my bad. Gotta pay attention to my tapping. It actually throws me when I notice things like people saying that the stream's unwatchable or lag, this and that. and then I forget what I'm doing. Reef Soul won't work. We could pump in response. I do feel like he's okay, and so he was holding a Reef Soul, and now he's playing a Shaman of the Pack in this very bipolar elf deck. Alright. Since we do have an active Jace, let's try to pay some attention. No, he can have that 3-2 if he wants to block with it. That's fine. But let's pay attention to what we exile going forward. You know what? This is gonna get ugly, but I think this is the point in the game where we just Roil Spout our opponent into oblivion. Because I am happy to let him resolve that Shaman of the Pack several times for the rest of this game. It's kind of like a lock, in a way. No blue open. But I'm scared to like even try to tap through my lands because I know it'll mess something up and tap like my plains. It'll tap my awakened creature, so even though I want to keep my mana up and play it correctly, I'm too scared to. But this is the Roil Spout lock, and our opponent is going to be very sad that they're not going to get any more draws for the rest of the game. He's gonna attack. It's going to be sad times for him attacking this Celestial Flare. And we could also hit him with one more Roil Spout, but I think we'll just tap him down and finish him off. And it looks like he wants to get on out of here. What a weird deck. That fetch with the From Beyond does imply that he doesn't even run Ulamog, which is strange. I don't understand including Sower just to include Sower. I mean, it was a bit of a headache, and it's a big body, but there are plenty of big bodies. I don't know. Weird Sultai Elves deck, but at least it was an interesting battle. And we certainly found our way through a number of kind of tests, I would say. There was an enchantment to deal with, there was a planeswalker to deal with in Ob Nixilis, there was an interesting Eldrazi out there. So we did have to navigate, and it navigated okay. The deck found a lot of kind of unique answers. I certainly think if he doesn't run Bellower, he certainly needs to run Woodland Bellower, because it can bring with it that Shaman of the Pack if he wants to play an elf strategy. And that would be better for 6 mana, but I don't know. Maybe just really loves that Oblivion Sower and the Eldrazi. It's just kind of unique. Alright, come on now. Not gonna get into that one. Let's try again. Waiting. Burm, burm, burm. Just reading through again the comments, and it seems some of my viewers are having buffering issues and things like that, and I just haven't seen any of it. And Shirt asks me, have I tested any other decks in Gems Tourney? Nope, I have not. It's all kind of new. This is my first time out with any of Gems Tourney deck lists. I think this is my first stream since they were published, or maybe the second, but I didn't focus on them. So, This is the one that, like, this deck is pretty unique, and it kind of goes, like I said, it parallels a lot of my thinking about control right now, which is that you need a bunch of high impact spells, and you shouldn't probably load up on counters. You should just run the ones that are sure to do the job, like Scare to the Winds, and then everything else needs to be like high impact spells. And I like the Awaken stuff too. Alright, looks like we're going to get some aggro. Looks like our hand isn't quite equipped to deal with it, at least not at this point. So let's see how this game plays out. It's going to get interesting, I'm guessing. Is it going to be just white, or is it going to be white-red? Is it going to be 5-color allies? It's going to be white-black. And it's on curve so far. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. This should buy us some time. We're probably going to have to cast one of these and try to get to our double black. We're all right. This curve is fine. It's just going to be interesting to see what we can do. Top of our library has to be reasonably kind. This is going to be a hard card to get value out of for a long time because we're going to be dealing with the board. Jace. Jace might interfere with our ability to Languish, but it also might get us the cards we need to Languish. But I think, I don't know, it can also block, so it kind of like it gains 1 life a turn, but it can prevent us from languishing on time. So let's see. Next turn, Jace activation, Read the Bones, 2 cards in the graveyard. The next turn, Jace activation, Languish. Nope. Doesn't get there. So we're going to leave Awry up instead. Okay, I hate to do this, but let's do the math. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and we can guess 4, 5. And then each turn is 3, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we could go down to 7, and remember we have no life gain. So before we cast Languish, we may go down to 7 using Read the Bones and everything else. So we actually have to counter this and save some life so that we can still take the line of Read the Bones, find a black source, cast Languish. Double white. Double white's already out there, so we'll go with the red. And no black. Ouch. So I guess we can't keep those. And ouch, still no black. We're getting 4-color nipped here. You can also, at the beginning of this video, I build the deck, so as soon as the stream is done, you can watch the video of this back in my archives if you want the deck list. But also, yeah, go to No Goblins Allowed and look for the Xbox Double Elim tournament, and you can find Gemini's deck there. This is not good, though. We are in a little bit of trouble. Roil Spout saves us 1 life a turn, and since he didn't have a play, it keeps him off action. Jace does kind of the same thing. So I think we go with Jace. Although removal, you know, makes this look bad, but I think we gotta try. Alright, that's a problem. That's a problem. Retreat to EMERIA, but we know he's not, we know he doesn't have more lands in his hand because we missed land drops. So Roil Spout will keep him off that for a little while. Unfortunately, Roil Spout isn't very good when there's a Celestial Healer involved because we still get drained every turn. I mean, what are you going to do? You're tapped out. You should probably pass the turn. I often imagine if this were paper Magic, how it would look like if it's like end step, the opponent's totally tapped out, they have nothing that they can possibly do, and they're like, hold on, I'm just thinking. Okay, Now you can go. Okay, Outburst. Outburst is good, but it can wait. We can take some damage for a little while and just keep our opponent and just buy some time until we can flip our Jace. We know he's going to draw the healer. We know he'll probably cast the healer unless he has something else to do for 4 mana. Okay, Sheer Drop. Interesting. I guess I could have played around that. It really didn't occur to me. That could cost me. Did not occur to me. Now, do I use Roil Spout to keep him off lands again? I don't think so. Well, I could. This is all very weird. I can't keep him off more lands forever, so I suppose I just pass the turn. But this all feels very strange. Very strange game. I'm going to go ahead and Awry the healer. Prevent the drains from keeping on. Divine Favor. Great. Roil Spout makes that a pretty bad card. But we're getting low on life, and like I've said, we don't have life gain in the deck apart from Shambling Vents. So we'll have to find that. So do we Spout here and just make him keep recasting this? Yeah, because we can awaken it. Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. Gotta love that. And now we can kind of take the beating back to him. This is probably the first time a Sheer Drop has been played on me in duels, and it was played on my Mythic Jace, so I feel like I somehow let the world down, allowing such things to happen to me, but that's the way it goes. Another vent, or not another vent, a vent, but that's really welcome here. Let's start bringing the pain. There might be another Sheer Drop. Oh, jeez, oh Pete's Gideon's Reproach. Yeah, I gotta get my head out of my butt and start thinking about white removal spells. That's what I get. I think I'm willing to take the damage here and let him get a board. I definitely don't want to use any of these in the spot I'm just sitting in. Oh my goodness. I'm just getting hammered by Sheer Drops and Gideon's Reproaches. Weird conditional white removal. Gotta knock that off. God. It's just getting hammered by comments here. I mean, now I'm all gun shy. Like, normally I'd be really considering Shambling Vents to take the fight to him, but I'm, like, really concerned about another Gideon's Reproach. I guess if that's really my concern, I can go get another blue and have counter magic open for it. And since it probably is another janky removal spell in his hand, I think we just do this right now. And that feels really bad too, because they're a pair of horrible 1/1s. I'm like nervous. I'm nervous about awakening the vent and attacking into open mana, because I'm scared that he's going to play another Gideon's Reproach. So I don't want to do it until I can scatter it. Now, do I want to Roil that? Yeah, I guess I want to Roil that. Get my 4/4 beat down on, because it lines up pretty good. Yeah. We're not going to awaken Shambling Vents here. I think that's it's a cool play, but it's often the wrong play, especially against removal. Sheer Drops and such. You don't want to lose your Shambling Vent and your Awakened Land at the same time. And nope, Stringer. I think that's a bad play, and I would think I'd get punished for it, although it's a cute play. Now we can do the vent this turn, because he doesn't have the mana up to mess with it. We could have done it last turn too, but I'd rather, like I said, I think that the Roil Spout lined up really well on that occasion. Lulu, yep. And, well, we hold up Dispel, which I guess that's more Gideon's reproach and insurance. And what mana do we need? Do we need double red in this deck? Red, nope. Do we need double black? We've got it. Do we need double white? We got it. Blue, I guess we'll get more blue. Or no, triple white. White, white, white. We have that, so yeah, we'll get blue. One basic left. Keep in mind, one swamp. And okay, great. That makes this juicy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we can make an 8/8. Yeah, that's probably worth it, taking a turn off of attacking to make an 8/8. That keeps it out of reproach. And I'm not going to awaken the vent. Once you awaken it, it can be dealt with by just about any removal spell. But whereas it's much harder to find something that's instant speed to deal with it. In fact, I don't know if there's anything in that deck. Maybe there could be a complete disregard, but I think it's pretty rare. Not only that, I have a Dispel to protect it, so nope, not awakening the vent. Not exposing it to sorcery speed removal. Not gonna happen. Now there are situations where I do it. I have awakened the vent. Most recently it was against a red aggro deck when I used a Planar Outburst to awaken it, because my opponent had like 4 cards and hadn't played anything forever, so I expected he had multiple fiery impulses in hand. So, well, let's just go ahead and counter this. If he still has a sheer drop, that's fine. I don't think he does. He'd play that first. But, yeah, I have awakened the vent. You just don't do it in... This isn't the right time. This isn't the right place. What yet? 3. And it looks like we pulled this one out against just kind of a weird game, but we found the answers. We got over a few minor mana problems and took care of business. And at this point, you know, just way ahead, just running away with it. Wonder what that last card is. Maybe it's a double black card, like a Ob Nixilis, for example. Speak of that devil, he has appeared. Alrighty, easy peasy. Let's try to get one more with the Gemini deck. See what happens. So far we've had kind of some interesting tribal linear aggro decks. First elves, then allies. And let's see if we can get something different. I'd love to try out a ramp matchup. I'd love to try out a red matchup. Something like that. Would be good. Good for the knowledge. I don't know what a 1 black spell that says your hand is mine now is. That's what MC Stringer mentions. He wants a card in the game that for 1 black mana says your hand is mine. So I imagine he is saying Thoughtseize. I imagine that is what he means. Seizing thoughts. I don't think that would go very well in duels, although I'm all for cards like Duress. And I'm not saying it wouldn't go well in duels because it wouldn't be good. It would be too good. It would be really good. I mean, we only get one of each mythic, and you Thoughtseize them and take away the good card from their hand. Leave them with the bad cards. It's just so brutal. But I think Disperse, or Distress, Despise, I think we need some stuff like that. We should have got Transgress the Mind. Transgress the Mind would be fun. But yeah, Duress would be great. Probably not that great. you know, I think you'd play it, but there's just a lot of decks like these, like say these last two decks we played against, Allies and Elves. I mean, how many times are you going to duress those decks and they're just like, my hand is all creatures, dude. Good job. Brain Maggot would be great. Yeah, bring back Brain Maggot. That's a good hashtag. Give us back our Brain Maggots. That's a fun card. No blue, but no cards that need blue. And if he's playing more linear aggro, which is what we've played against so far, this is a good hand. If he's playing ramp or something like that, it's a bad hand. But sometimes you just gotta see where it goes. Great, probably, unless it's Naya ramp. We'll see. It's like Boros, yes please. Boros, yes please. If there is a type of deck I think I play all the time, it's either black-white or Boros, like Allies, that I just seem to play all the time. And I'm never afraid. I'm like, thank you. Thank you for playing these decks. I think I've lost to them a few times. It happens, but it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. There's our blue. So this requires a mountain or a plains, which we don't have. Let's just get that out. Probably should have played it first. For some reason I thought it would come in untapped off a swamp, which was obviously me not thinking deeply enough. I should know better than that. And we've got Allies. Hello, Allies. Love it. So, I guess this way we can set up for a Celestial Flare if we feel the need, but really let's go ahead and get a board. He may play a Chasm Guide and get to smack me for a bunch this turn, but I think I'm willing to take it because after that, his merry band of allies is going to be very sad. They're walking through Mordor basically. They got to go through Radiant Flames and Languish, and it's going to be nasty. Coming in for 2. You got me. I will take this damage. Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra. And pass the turn. I guess he smells a lot of sweepers himself. I'm willing to take one more hit like this, and then I'm gonna get nasty. But I would love to top deck like something that just deals with an individual creature, although now that I think about it, we don't have anything like that in this deck. We don't have Fiery Impulse. Roil Spout, I mean, I would welcome a Roil Spout, but we don't have a lot of individual creature kill. That's just kind of cheap. Deal with that, move on with life. And he's playing around sweepers pretty hard. I wonder if I'm getting sniped. That or he's just smart. I can go with smart. Let's leave that blue up. Let's do that. Yep, you pause your timer. What are you going to do, Tandem Tactics? Nada. I'm going to do nada. So some kind of pump effect, maybe a Titan Strength. I think Tandem Tactics might have been cast there because it would have saved him from the flames. So what's it going to be? You got 4 mana now. You've done almost nothing this game. What kind of a hand did you keep, dear opponent? What could be in that hand that would make you keep it? Maybe there's some Fiery Impulse. There might be a Titan Strength based on that pause last turn. What else could be in a hand like this? Is this also going to be like a sheer drop, Gideon's Reproach type hand? Maybe. Double red. Maybe there's a Firecraft. Maybe there's auras he was afraid to cast. A 3/4 Entanglers. Okay. I feel like the amount of time he took on that was to examine my hand and snipe me. So I think that could be what's happening here. But even so, regardless, he's going to be really hard pressed. And regardless, we're just going to trade off. If he's going to play 1-for-1s, we're going to play 1-for-1s, and I still think we win. Alright, you've got an angel. I've got a reprisal. Boom. Interesting. It's kind of a go big allies deck. Yep, go big allies. That's what we'll call it. Now let's see if he has another angel and a plains to get back the angel. Nope. Nope. That would have been brutal. That would have been the threading of the needle. Alright, let's leave that blue mana up. Let's get our bone reading on. More land. I guess we'll take a land, but we don't need two. We do want to build towards part the Waterveil with Awaken. And now we're looking pretty shiny over here. And he's flooding pretty hard. I mean, I don't know how big his ally deck goes. Maybe it goes all the way to Ulamog, but I doubt he wants all that land. That would be pretty unique for an ally deck. Wow. Yeah, the Endless Flood, as we are up to 10 and still not casting anything. And I'm, it's gonna be hard to beat, hard to get through this. He'll need something. He'll need to play something eventually. But where I'm at, I may just have to start discarding the hand size. How embarrassing. I guess I could Planar Outburst with Awaken before that. Oh, there's a guy. There's something I can play. He'll probably just die. Let's find out, though. Let's put it to the test. Jace, will you die? Please do not kill my Jace. He just wants to play Magic. Let's remember, everybody, help me remember to play around Sheer Drop. Do not tap my Jace on my main face. Actually, it won't matter because he'll flip right away, but I think you get what I'm saying. There's a Sunken Hollow. Let's flip. Brah. You gonna Sheer Drop it? I think he wants to Sheer Drop it. Too bad it's a sorcery. Now, I guess I don't need Flare. I can't think of anything I'd have to Flare. And let's just start ticking. Yes. Keep him. Can't. I got work to do. And do we want to just Planar Outburst and start attacking? Do we want to part the we want to part the Waterveil and start attacking. That's what we want to do. That's where the beauty in life lies right now. Now there is a chance we're gonna run into that Sheer Drop. I just got that feeling now. Now that it's happened, I'll never forget it. So, is there anything to do about that? Like to untap a land? Nah, there's nothing like that. But we can dig. The guy can dig, can he? We want the land. The Roil Spout is kind of superfluous, but basically his next creature will be his last, so I think we want it. Yeah. I guess we could try to Telling Time for a counter. So we'll leave the mana up for that option. Oh, you allies. Allies just, I don't know, so bad to me. I've never been able to make it work. I mean, I can win some games with it, sure, but I never feel good about it. I always feel like I'm playing really bad, like B- commons. Come on, no Sheer Drop. I was just anticipating that everybody always has the Sheer Drop now that that particular incident occurred. Now he goes for Reprisal. Sure. Nothing I could have done anyway. Reprisal doesn't surprise me. I'm not surprisaled by Reprisal. We're just going to keep going up. There's plenty we could do with the graveyard, but mostly involves drawing cards and card selection, and we are in pretty good shape. Ooh, Disciple will probably have his way with them. Probably like 5 or 6 down here. 7. Pretty good. Undo, Guy. Yeah, we want that to resolve, because now it's going to get Spout and ugly. Oh, okay. Our opponent has been just slow-rolling allies on us. Alright. How about no? Got another? They does not has another. So I think our opponent just played really cautious against us and assumed we had counter spells, even though the deck is very counter light, which is kind of one of the cool side effects of playing a deck like this. Opponents just assume that you're going to counter everything, when really there's only 2 legit counters, and, well, there's Horribly Awry. And I guess we could have countered things along the way. It does still feel like a sniperific game, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe just really scared of the counters. I don't know. Undo Champion feels terrible to me. I don't pay 4 mana for a 4/3 that tramples for 1 turn. Now, it gives the team trample, but think about it. It's 4 mana. If you're playing it on curve, you're giving creatures with power 3, 2, or 1 trample, which isn't that appealing to me. I find this guy to be a disappointment. I really do. I can't lie. He's not my boy. You know what I mean? He and I, we just don't get along. All right, let's do it again. Put him in the hard spout lock. Which is pretty brutal, and not something I really thought about too much with a bunch of Roil Spouts and a Jace and a control deck, but it is pretty brutal. The Roil Spout lock. Alright, that's game number 3 down. 3 kind of linear tribal decks. Nothing I think that Gemini will encounter in the tournament, if I'm being honest about it. Well, the deck lists are public. It's not about being honest, it's about being factually right. There's nothing quite like Elves and Allies in the tournament. But still, the deck, you know, it took control and did its thing pretty well. So I'm gonna call that one, and I'm gonna come back in just a few. I like to cut the videos off and end them with a theme, so this will be like Gemini's 4-color control deck, and then I'll come back and I'll play a deck of mine in just a minute.